और आइए इस वक्त आपको हम सीधे लिए चलते हैं वित्त मंत्री निर्मला सीतारमण नीति NCAER राज्य आर्थिक मंच पोर्टल के शुभारंभ कार्यक्रम में शामिल हो रही हैं। आइए चलते हैं।
Say we'll have to make sure that we raise revenues but not burden the people. There is no difference on that. Punjab doesn't speak differently from Gujarat. Gujarat doesn't speak differently from Tamil Nadu. Everybody wants to raise revenue. But they also look at amazing number of papers, sheets after sheets for the data which is before them. How much did we charge earlier? By reducing, what is it going to be foregone? And then again talk about it. That is why sometimes people think we are haranguing ourselves in the GST Council, but I'm glad for it. Because eventually people are looking at the facts before them and taking a call, a collective call, because it's one nation, one tax. But that kind of an approach, the spirit that all of us will have to be conscious to raise the revenue, and no politics on that. But equally, we'll have to be sure we don't burden the people. So if for the larger costs, when you talk of revenues, there is a sense which is we have to be responsible, but yet there is no politics here. A BJP ruled state is not differently speaking from a Congress ruled state. Everybody says we need revenue. And there are times when I go with a proposal saying, can we cut it down here? I have 10 different ministers, both from my party and other parties, also equally saying, no, please don't do it. But when I come out, I cannot say, look, I went with a proposal to cut, the rest of them didn't agree. Because that's the sense of being responsible to the body which looks at data and says, look, it's all right you brought a proposal, but it may not work. That's where, in an extended fashion, I'm saying, when you have the right data, put out dispassionately, states will see where they are going to have to start from and how far they can go. Beyond the point, it can be harmful for the state is not established by strong speeches, but only with hard data. And that coming from, let's say, NITI together with NCER can bring that authenticity, that heft to the data, and that can be taken seriously by every state administration. So if I go by the example of the GST Council, I may have to differ from BVR for a minute, the hard and the soft look. In the GST Council, there's no hard, there's no soft. Everybody says money. But they are conscious that it cannot be by burdening on certain items which are of daily use for common people. So through the GST Council, we are able to prove that the hard look is actually the realistic look. Whereas when it comes from the Finance Ministry, everybody in the Parliament would say, that's hard on us. Whereas when you go through the GST Council, which is the body where everybody sits with papers before them, data before them, all differences vanish. So I expect the States Economic Forum to have that kind of an impact, saying, look at the reality of your state. Would you want to look at it? I was just looking at that bar chart, which showed the national average somewhere between the top 14 are there, the bottom 14, clearly showing, was it the per capita? Per capita. It was so clearly shows that the top 14 are actually doing the heavy lifting. The sense of having to contribute. And that's why when the Honorable PM says, can states plan for themselves? Nobody is asking you to do A and not B, but you decide whether you want A or you want B or you want C, but do decide what is your role towards Vikasit Bharat. And I'm happy many states are now coming up with a plan for themselves. But data tells you some hard truths, something which is difficult to gulp. States which call themselves developed are ridden with huge debts. I say it even with the authority of Article 293 is not going to be received well by anybody. And I consciously say this, I know seasoned bureaucrats are seated here. When they are in the state, the voice is different. And I wish all of them get posted in finance ministry. When they come to the finance ministry, they say, oh, no, we can't do this. Hey, you were there yesterday and from the state you said something different. That kind of, efficient senior bureaucrats, and why states and center, I can say when they are in some departments, they say, no way, you have to give this. And the next day, post them as expenditure secretary. The voice changes, the priorities change. But that's the closer look at data. That's why I think your idea of putting the data out, engaging with researchers, engaging with the observers of the Indian economy is important, but I would think it is equally important for you to take it to the states, get them on board, let them see what is before them, let them see how other states are managing. One might want to see how other states are managing debt, but a second one would want to see how their per capita income is rapidly growing and what is it that they have to do. So you need to have this now as a platform for engagement with the states. You should become the catalyst, NCAER and NITI, you should become the catalyst, make sure the states understand the importance of such data. And after that, yes, all of us can be on the same page saying each state is different, you can't have one size fits all, so this project can be differently allowed for them and a third project need not be applicable to a state at all. So we can have that fantastic flexibility in resource allocation provided you've already given them this advantage of data. And
तो